Today's video will demonstrate how to use arrays for table lookup. Hello, I'm James Helfrich. It takes a long time to master all the different data structures and data types out there, but one of the ones we use most commonly is an array, and there's two main uses for the array. Number one is a collection of things, and the second is table lookup. Well, we've probably used arrays for collections before, but today's video will talk about how to use arrays for table lookup. The key element of using an array for table lookup is to carefully organize the elements so that we can retrieve the ones that we want. Perhaps this is best explained by example. Let's say I want to find the month name from the month number. Now, one thing I can do, in this case will be in Swift, is I'm going to have an array of months: January, February, March, April, May, June. Now notice how the month names are carefully in order with the month number. And then I can say print months, month number -1. And now I'll be able to, I don't have to say if, else if, else if, else if, which would be O sub n, to retrieve the month name. Instead, I could do a table lookup, which is O sub 1. Another example, I want to find a letter grade from a number grade. So this one would be in C#, and I'm going to say grades is FFFFFF DCBAA. Now notice the comment that I put in the array, which is going to help me understand what each of the slots counts for. So the 0 slot would be F, the 2 slot will be F, the 6 slot will be D, the 9 slot will be A, and the 10 slot will be A. So then all I have to do is say letter equals grades of number integer division by 10, and that'll give me an index between 0 and 10, which will look up FFFFDCBAA. And don't forget, of course, to add some asserts to make sure that I don't fall off the end of the array. If I have 120% or -10%, then clearly I'm going to have a bug. The second example is far more complicated. Here I want to convert someone's income into a tax burden, and notice I have several different tax brackets. Let's take for an example the $123,000 to $188,000. That's going to be $24,000 plus 28% of the amount over $123,000. Well, that's going to be a challenge. Let's see how we can figure this out. The first thing to notice is the tax brackets are presented in a tabular format. So I need to convert that tabular format into something our programming language understands. And this example will be done in C. Now, first of all, I'm going to have my function compute tax. I'm going to take an income and return a tax. Now I'm going to carefully create each row of my table, and I'm going to call this a bracket. And I have my minimum and maximum amount for the income range, my fixed amount, the amount I'm going to add on to, and plus my rate, which will be a percent, and all those are going to be floats. And then I'm going to say for the first tax bracket between 0 and 15,000 is going to be 0 plus 10%. For 15,000 to 61,000, it'll be 1,500 plus 15%, and so on. Now that we have the table built, the next step is to look up the value. So I'm going to say for I equals 0, I is less than brackets, I plus plus, I'm going to walk through each row of my tax brackets table. And I'm going to say, look, if my income is between the minimum and maximum amount, which is column 0 and column 1, then I will compute the tax, which is the fixed amount, which in the case of column 3, in the case of row 3, would be $123,700, plus my rate, once again, in that same row, it'll be 28%, times income minus bracket of min, which would be $123,000. This is example 8.3 in the collections chapter of the software design textbook.